All right, welcome back once again to Denver, Colorado. We are in the Captain Sim Lockheed L1011 American Airlines livery here at Gate Alpha 37. We are attempting to fly today from Denver to Dulles and maybe get in on the tail end of the event that's going on out there on this Sunday afternoon into early evening. Um, and I'm going to try what I was just attempting a minute ago, and I'm back. I've got maybe a little bit more information. I double checked a different source that I had been using to piece this checklist together, and I tell you what, it's a duct taped checklist. There's just nothing available really. I mean, not much available from Captain Sim. Um, so I'm doing the best I can, and I appreciate everybody that's put some information out there. But yeah, there's not much out there. So we're going to get this thing started. Master or the battery on. We're going to start the APU. We go the master battery on, and then we push start on the APU. I actually tried this a minute ago and it did not work, and I had to go back and reference an earlier video I was watching, and I tried to find a second video that I I thought hinted at a way to get this in a cold and dark state, which is really what I would like to have. Okay, that's all good. We'll do the bleed air shut off valve. Actually, that should be open. And that's the problem right there, is it's a lot of this stuff is still where I left it when, instead of completely shut down. And so anyway, I was not able to find the answer I was looking for. I thought that that particular video was going to show me how to do that. There is no simple way to load it in that cold and dark state. We're going to turn the ATMs off. That was one of the things that I had forgotten about. And the pack flow control, these are the ones that need to be turned off. And then you can see the pack flow is losing its pressure, and then this is going to go up for a moment, but it shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's turn the fuel on. That's down here, all three engines at the same time basically, and then you come up here and hopefully we'll have a little better luck. There we go. So I just hit the ground starter, open that first valve, and we're ready to rock and roll. Oh, I better make sure that, yeah, I need to have the brake on. You can hear it, you can see everything looks good. Engine number one is coming on. So the frustration is that I don't know. I'm new to this plane, and I don't know if me just turning the engines off and turning the switches off and turning the battery off, if that really truly puts it in a cold and dark state, or if it just kind of does, like the Princess Bride. Is he dead, or is he just mostly dead? Because then the thing is, you don't know when you come back the next time what's still turned on and what's not turned on, and that can mess up an already iffy flow. Alright, that guy is coming alive and things are looking good, but if I can get the engine started, I'm semi-confident that I can fly a departure and get this bird up to, at least up to cruise. And that's kind of what my goal is for this particular video. It's quite a long flight. It's 3.5 hours. So I think if things go well, I think I'll break it up into two different streams. We'll start with the departure, and then we'll pick up the arrival later on. So already a good sign, as we are seeing all three of our engines coming alive here. I missed the puff of smoke, but you can hear them, you can see them spinning. That's a good sign. So all three engines are started and stable. We can go ahead and turn the ATMs back to auto, and then we can turn the pack flow controls on again, and we can get the AC going back to the passengers. And then that's all you need the APU for. After that, you are good to go. You can turn things off, and that pretty well takes care of it. Let's see. Generator breakers are all closed. That's good. That looks good there. Everything here looks very good. Alright, so we do have a flight plan on file, but we don't have any air traffic, so we are going to depart the best we can here and try to follow this departure as closely as we can. But before we do that, we do need to make sure that we I actually am a little out of order here. So worried about starting this bird up. I need to get my fuel and passengers on board here first. So sorry about that. This actually should take place before what I just did, obviously. But SimBrief tells me I'm going to have a block fuel of 32,148. So we'll just make it 32.2. And he tells me that, as always, full load 300, let's see, 330 was what he gave me last night in the practice flight. 313 today. So I have no idea how many seats are in each part, but we're gonna go 100 apiece, 113 to make a grand total of 313. Payload, it's telling me we have 32.7. Oh, wow, that's a lot. 32700. Alright, and that looks good. Center of gravity at just about 21%. Cool. Alright, we load it. You see it kind of adjusted a little bit there. And alright, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We can check, none of the doors are open right now. This is kind of a handy little pop-out menu there that is nice, there's no doubt. I don't have GSX set up yet for this. I don't have, really all I have is just getting things started. And so the next thing I need to do is I do need to get the INS going here, but before I do that, let's get into, so we're gonna go ahead and I can pop this open. Not my preferred method of doing it, but it is pretty handy here. So I'm getting the same thing. The reason I'm looking down here is I just want to make sure that you know I'm getting the same thing, but I'm getting this, which is, this part's actually on the overhead panel up here, so it gives you a little bit of both. And we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to get our position in. We need to set this to standby, and then we're going to go to our SimBrief data, and we're going to put in position 0. This is the Denver airport. That's where we're departing from. And I'm seeing a north 3951. Oops. North 39517. Insert that. Then we want a west 104 404. Alright, so there's our initial position. We want to go ahead now and align, and then as we do that, you know, we can kind of take a look over here and see it's started. This INS does not take as long to align as the DC-8 one, and there actually is a shortcut way you can kind of shortcut workaround, but I'm not going to do that because by the time I get my waypoints in and brief you on the departure as well as the route, it'll be pretty well ready to rock and roll. So speaking of, here is, just in case you weren't around when we put this together, here is the basic idea. We're departing Denver. We are on the Plains 9, I believe, is the departure, and we are going to be did I have time to memorize my lines? Yeah, I actually didn't find the answer I was looking for, Al South. I thought the video that I was referencing showed me a way to get this thing in a cold and dark state, and it didn't. All it said was shut everything down, save it, and then load it that way next time, and then pick your airport. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for. So I just double checked my notes and I figured out what I was doing wrong. And yeah, we'll just wing the rest of it, kind of like I normally do. All right, so again, briefing the departure here real quickly. It's the Plains 9 departure, and it looks like this. We're going to be departing. Actually, whoa, hello. Now that I look at this, boys and girls, I actually think that I would not be getting this clearance because, well, no, it does give you 3-0 left or right, but that's from Rocky Mountain Metro. Oh, these are from the other, the nearby airports. Okay, I was a little bit turned around there for a second, but we're going to be getting, we're going to be departing north on 3-4, probably 3-4 right, and then we're going to be making our way out here to the McCook VOR eventually, but we're going to try to catch this 076 outbound radial here for the first basically 107 miles out here to Techme, and then from Techme we will make our way out to McCook. So that's our transition here off the departure, and then as we get rolling a little bit further, I'll show you the rest of it. But what that means is McCook is going to be one of my waypoints that I have to put in. Actually, it's going to be the first waypoint that I put in. I don't know if I can grab this. Nope, I can't do both at the same time here. But so McCook, as I'm looking at my sim brief, I'm going to slide this over to the first waypoint, and I'm going to put that in. It's north 40 122 insert, and then it's west 100 357. Alright, so there's McCook, and let's pull the route back up again, and we'll see. So you only have 9 of these that you can put in, so you have to, like I say, you have to be kind of strategic in what you do. And so yeah, see, so we're already getting a ready signal here for the nav, by the way. If I spin this around though, you can see that I still am not all the way down. You want to get this number down to 0. That's how you know you're the most accurate in terms of this alignment. So even though you technically would be ready to go at 5.5, I like to take it down to 0 if possible. So again, next up for us though is going to be Pawnee City, and so Pawnee City, as I look at it here, we will spin this to 2, and we are going to be we got to go back to waypoint information here. We're going to put in the latitude and longitude 40120 40120, yep, and west 096 124. Again, this is all information I'm just getting from SimBrief. So the third waypoint, there's Pawnee City. Third waypoint's going to be up here. It's going to be Linden, or Lamoni, sorry, I better count. That'll be 3, this will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, do I have another one here? Okay, I think I'll be okay. That will be 8, and then my airport will be 9. Ooh. Boy, it's going to be, yeah, it's all the waypoints I have available right now. So, okay, where was I? 1, 2, 3. I was getting ready to go to Lamoni. So Lamoni is north 40358. Insert west 093581. Beautiful. All right. Just to speed this up a little bit, I think what I'm going to do is keep this map. I think you get the idea. I'm just working my way across the map essentially here. And so the next point for me is the Kirksville Vortac, and Kirksville is north 40081 and west 092355. Okay, number 5 after Kirksville, it's St. Louis. St. Louis is north 38516 and west 090289. All right, almost 2/3 of the way there, folks. Normally I don't video this part, but again, I'm just kind of trying to make my own little video reference, you know, so I can check back and have all my questions answered here for next time. So Louisville is next for me. We are going to be north 38062 and west 085346. Number 7 along the way after Louisville. We're getting close here. We have Charleston. Of course, Charleston, abbreviated HVQ. I'm sure there's a reason. All right, north 38210 and west 081462. And then let's see, the last one there I think is Linden, and then we have the airfield. Yes, Linden. Linden is on the approach, but a pretty good idea that we'll be getting that one as we're heading in. So Linden, number 8, is north 38513. Whoops, that was a mistake. 38, oh, north 38513. Yes, I do make I do make mistakes putting these in quite often, actually. 07 west 078123. And yes, that does make a big difference almost every time. Well, I shouldn't say almost every time. Every time the INS does not work, it's something I've done incorrectly. And usually that mistake is me not putting in the latitude and longitude correctly. All right, the last one, number 9, has to be the arrival at airport, Washington Dulles, north 38568. and west 077276. Okay, we'll take that back to the beginning here. We'll check our yep, so there we go. Now we are ready, and we can go ahead and flip that to nav, and we're ready to rock and roll. I like to leave it at distance and time. Our first waypoint McCook is 189 miles away, and I'm not moving, so it's infinitely long for me to get there. Alright, alright, alright. I like it, I like it, I like it. Okay, that was a lot of work back in the day. Yeah, Al South, you're absolutely right. There is something about it, though, that I think it's kind of like putting a jigsaw puzzle together for some people. It's just almost therapeutic for me to just work through a flight plan and then enter in information and make sure that it's all in the right spot. Feels very satisfying when you actually execute it correctly. So I'm going to head back over. I'm scrolling through my my charts here to make sure I know where I'm at as far as Denver International Airport, and where do I need to go here. Looks like I am going to need to push back with my nose right. I don't know if I said this on this stream or not, but I don't have the GSX set up just yet, but we're going to be pushing back nose right. We're going to be taxiing out here, Foxtrot to Foxtrot 1, and 34 right is going to be our departure airport. Yeah, for fun is okay. Imagine, yeah, and then here's the other part to that, Al, is let's say that you're flying somewhere and you have more than 9 waypoints. You actually have to go in flight and update, and it's that would be the part that would be tricky for me. Yeah, but it would be a lot more stressful too if you're sitting there and knowing you have real people on board and all that good stuff. Okay, well, we have everything in at this point in time. Let me just go back and just triple check my checklist here. After start checklist, I have let's see, do I need any heat right now? No heat. Anti-ice, don't need any anti-ice. My windshield heat is actually turned on, and I believe the pitos are automatically on. I'm not finding them. It's all right in kind of this area though. Windshield heat, side windows, anti-ice. Where are you hiding from me here, pedos? Alright, glare shield panel. We're going to set our altitude here. We are climbing up to 37,000. Yeah, no wonder they needed 4 people. Absolutely correct. And here's the thing about this plane. This is what I think is so interesting. At the time, it had the most advanced systems in the industry. And in fact, the year that they started producing them, one of the big reasons why they were able to sell so many, I mean, I think they made 250 of them or something like that, is they did a completely automated flight all the way from takeoff to the cruise to landing. It was all done automated, and it was the first plane ever that was able to do that. So that's pretty amazing. I don't know how you auto takeoff, by the way. I did do an ILS approach. I hand flew it for the last 1,000 feet or so, but yeah, it's got a fully auto land capability. You can see it has two autopilots. You turn both of them on, similar I think to what you do in like a 737 or an Airbus. And yeah, you just have to make sure that you have the altimeter set and all that good stuff, and I think it lands automatically for you. Alright, we're gonna shoot for an initial climb out. Oop, there's the 4-legged first officer enhancing the audio. make sure we don't get over 250. Here I'm still kind of learning a little bit here. There's an IAS hold mode, which kind of keeps this speed. That's part of what I was messing around. And then there's a heading and all that stuff. There's also, in order to use the FMC, I have to have, let's see, where is that little switch? I gotta have this to FMS mode, which we will put on here. I'm going to actually try to fly the first part of it using the VOR mode, and then I'm going to flip it to FMS, and I'm going to pray that I have everything entered in there correctly, and it'll fly the rest of them using the INS. But okay, so to do that, I do need to have McCall. Actually, I take that back. I have to have Denver VOR tuned in, because that's what we're going to be using on our way out, and that is 117.9er. So put that guy in right here. We will fly that outbound. We are hoping to pick up. I'm just doing the work over here. I keep forgetting to bring this over. We're hoping to pick up that 076. So we understand, and we're going to be up here somewhere. We're probably going to have to come around and maybe even be vectored back down to intercept this on our way out. But we have a little bit of room, 43 miles to, if we could even get to Emmys, I think that would be a pretty good spot for us to get back on that outbound radial. So, but we will have that set 076. And then we're gonna, the heading, we're gonna go ahead and set at runway heading, and then when we get oh, Al South is saying my stream keeps getting disconnected. I am sorry, man. I don't know. I haven't been watching. I'm hoping that's not a huge issue, and I apologize. Thanks for your patience on that, man. I actually thought I was the only one in the house online at this point, which is, I thought I was safe to be down here, but hopefully that'll take care of itself here. Sorry about that. All right, we'll set runway heading. We'll climb out, and we'll make our turn here, and then we'll use the. Have to turn that on first. I guess I don't get to do that until I activate my autopilot, maybe. All right. Well. Sounds like I have, oh yeah, there's another guy sitting next to me here. Cool. So we're going to be pushing back nose right, and we're going to be taxiing out to, I think this is Lima right here. We're going to head up Lima to Lima 1, and that's kind of where we want to be. Well, dang it, pretty choppy stream. Sorry about that. Like I say, I hope it smooths out as we go. Okay, I do need to set the altimeter. I have not done that yet. Again, just kind of peeking at active sky. The altimeter 3018. So let's do that real quick here. And then the other thing I need to make sure that I do is this. I want to make sure that I have my sound. Okay, good, because part of the fun of this airplane is just listening to those engines. And this is pretty quiet because the third engine is actually all the way back in the tail, but it still gets rocking and rolling. It's pretty cool. So alright, so flaps are 0, anti-skid should be on. It is not on. Why is it not on? It's off. Why is it? Should be. I don't know why that's not coming on. Overhead lights, we don't need anything just yet. The fasten seatbelt, no smoking can come on. We will also put the position strobe anti-collision on, and don't need any instrument lighting at this point in time. Okay, that's about the extent of my checklist up to this point. The rest of it is done sort of on the fly here, and so let's let's see what happens. So far, I'm 1 for 2 in successful flights. The first flight I crashed shortly after departure. The second flight I was able to make it all the way into Salt Lake City, so I felt pretty good. So nose right, tail left. Let's see if I have to do the old shift P. Let's brake is going to come off. So shift P, and we want tail left, so I push, I believe, number 1. Fingers crossed. Is that looking any better, Al South, just yet? Looks okay on my monitor, but it's hard to tell. Yep, turning the right way anyway. Nobody behind me. I do need to, by the way, make sure that I have 122.8 tuned in for now. And this is selected. I do have some traffic right there, a friend. Alright, that's gonna work. We will set the parking brake again here. We're gonna go flaps 15. It's got crazy flaps like flap 7 and flap 18 and 22. It's awesome. I love it. Just love it. It's so cool. We're gonna put the taxi light on. We shouldn't need anything else. Oh, we have a couple of friends here, but I am gonna make a quick call just for my friends that are on the ground. We'll go mode Charlie, and let's see, Denver traffic. We're gonna taxi to runway 34 left. No, 34 right via Lima. Better make sure that's accurate. No, via Foxtrot. Via Foxtrot. Lima's on the other side. Alright, hopefully those guys will wait to begin their pushbacks. Parking brake can come off. And this is always weird for me, but all 3 engines. Yeah, how about that? Flaps are just, yeah, crazy. 15.3, and you definitely are speaking a little different language when you're hopping in a different aircraft. I'm going to have some frame rate issues here, so Al South, if this looks choppy, this is on my end, because the one thing I've learned about this, both of the Captain Sim aircraft that I have, is they are just right at the top edge of what I'm able to do with my computer. So once I get flying, things are much better, but down here on the ground where there's scenery, and holy cow, if there's any kind of weather, it's a little bit rough. But I can live with it for now. The luxury liner. It's so dang nice, and it's bigger than I think, because I really have to, I mean, you've got to take it way out to make the turn to make sure that your tail follows you, and it just has this huge turning radius. It takes a long time to get it rolling. Once you do get it going, though, it does get up to speed pretty quickly. Part of the documentation that's missing right now that I will find at some point are V-speeds and performance data and things like that. So I am purely estimating right now that I have a V speed of approximately 170, a V rotation of about 170 knots. That is pure speculation, and I'm only making that speculation based on I'm right about the same, maybe just a hair heavier than I was last night when I flew to Salt Lake City. So here comes Foxtrot. Yep, there's Foxtrot. There's the beautiful Rocky Mountains off our 12 o'clock. We are clear on the left and clear on the right. Make our turn. Everything is still pretty green around here, by the way, even though it's pushing September. It's pretty darn green, and so this scenery is showing that, and I would say that's accurate. Like this scenery. This is Flight Beam, Denver from Flight Beam. They do a great job. And it has been rainy around here, so the puddles, I say around here, I'm not from Denver, but I'm fairly close in the ballpark, about 6 hours away, which in Wyoming terms is just down the block. Okay, so Al South, I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer here. I flew yesterday's flight strictly using VOR navigation. I didn't do any of the INS. And so I'm a little bit curious to see how this goes. The first time I tried the INS in the DC-8, it was not a success. But it is nice to know that I can go ahead and fly relatively accurate to the flight plan using simply VOR navigation. At least I have that kind of in my back pockets. Yeah, and I'm not very good, as you can see. I didn't hit that turn right on the money. You really have to go past, a long way past where you're going. It's just a little longer than I'm used to. It's not a particularly big aircraft, I don't think, but forgiven ahead of time. Appreciate that. All right, I bet I'm gonna make a call here just to make sure no one's landing on 3534 right. We're making the call short of 34 right, ready for departure, and we will put on the landing lights. We'll turn off the taxi light. There is, if I remember, let's look really quickly, there is an auto ignition here somewhere, which you really should have on. Yeah, continuous ignition should be on. Everything else I think looks good. I'm going to look back here like I know what I'm looking at, but I really don't. All I'm praying for is I don't see any like red lights, and I do not at this point in time. So I'm going to say we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to make that call on Unicom, and we'll be heading to Dulles. Denver traffic, takeoff, runway 34 right. We'll get out there, we'll get lined up, we'll set our heading, and we can see with our VOR down here roughly where we're wanting to go. We do want to get to that 076. Or that's the goal anyway. Alright, watch how far I have to take this baby across the runway before I make my turn to get lined up. Yesterday I took it to where the edge of the runway lined up with the top of the glare shield, and I was still too soon. I'm going to take it a little further past this time, almost all the way to the other side. Now let's see how close we are. Oh, well, yeah, maybe that was a hair too much, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Alright, so runway heading, we will set for now. I'm not planning on engaging anything autopilot wise until I'm up a little ways, but I do want to throw on the autopilot pretty quickly because it does help to manage the speed. This is an aircraft that the speed management is a little bit nicer than the DC-8. All right, here we go. Enjoy. Takeoff power is set. Oh, I'm drifting, but I had to give you the outside sound. Oh, I'm all over the place. Come on, come back around, baby. Alright, airspeed is alive. There's 120. Again, we're looking for 170. Actually, I'm looking for the center line right now. 140, I'm going to say that's V1. Jeez, I'm all over the place. There's 160, 170, rotate. Yeah, that was probably pretty close. Okay, gear up. Not the prettiest departure in the world, to say the least. I'd like about 2,000 foot per minute on the climb. I think that'd be good. I think a flap speed's about 250, so we have a ways to go. I'll go up from flaps 18 to flaps 7 or whatever the next notch is. We'll turn that on. I am going to bring power back a little bit here and just let it sort of stabilize. There, flaps up. When I get to 250, see the nose wanting to go down there. When I get to 250, I'm going to actually engage the autopilot, and then that will, like I say, there we go, it'll hold it for me. So there is it's an auto throttle, which again was revolutionary at the time. And right now this is my heading. I'm going to engage heading mode, and I'm going to start my turn so that we can intercept that 076 outbound radial. Feels weird to adjust the heading up here instead of down here, so I think if we went about, we'll try to go about 0, and maybe we'll just try due east kind of to start out. Let's see what that does for us here. If that doesn't get us there, we can adjust a little bit more. Alright, so holding the speed very, very well. It's adjusting kind of my climb rate, and that's right here. So I don't want to be at 200 feet per minute. I want to go ahead and engage that, and let's spin that up to, again, about 2,000 foot per minute is a nice climb. And now essentially, no matter where my throttles are on the throttle quadrant, it's just going to take over, and it should adjust the power here. And as you can see, again, you know, we're pushing it a little bit here, but not too bad. The EPR, and I can actually adjust this. This is another one of those where I don't know what it should be, but that should be the max. And I've just kind of left it at that. I try not to go over that, because that's when you get up into red line territory there. But right there is, worked pretty well, and it was able to hold that climb at least up into kind of the 25,000 foot range. Alright, so we are on an intercept course, but not really as early as I had hoped. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to adjust to 100. Okay, we're through 10,000. So we'll turn the landing lights off. We will turn the continuous ignition off. We will look at all the stuff that we still need to learn and get used to, and can't wait. It's been fun learning so far what it's had to teach me. There really isn't an American flight that runs from Denver to Dulles. It's a United flight, but I don't have a United livery. I don't think the United ever had a Tristar. So I picked the closest one, and we're just gonna enjoy. I am cheating just a little bit here. I'm not true slant whiskey because I am using this. I've got my iPad strapped to my knee, and I'm looking at our position. And again, we're trying to get to Emmys. That's 43 miles out, and then it's a total of 107 to TechMe, and then it's another 66. So we had about 100. What was that? 183-ish miles. So when we get to oh yeah, because we still had 16.2. So when we get to 80, what would that be? 82. We know we can make that turn. So we're looking here. Right now we have 170 to go to McCook. When that gets to 82, then we'll make that turn and start heading on that 076. Hopefully this will align before that, and we can just fly that out. Right now this is pointing away out from Denver. It's not pointing to McCook just yet. As you can, let me pull this back over. So we're trying to get on 076 to TechMe. Then we have to change it to a 073 heading. And actually we'll just tune in McCook at that point, because we'll be within about 80 miles, and we should be able to get it, and we'll fly inbound radial 253 to McCook. And then when we get to McCook, then I'm going to attempt to engage the INS, which is a matter of just flipping this from VOR over to FMS, and we will see how that goes. We are actually over 10,000, so we could increase. Our filed speed is actually 300. We'll put it to 289 because I think that's just about Mach 0.78. We'll start there. We'll see what it does. Again, you kind of have to pay attention here. Yeah, see, that's getting us on the red line. So let's do this. Let's decrease ourselves to about 1,500 feet per minute. That way we don't have to work quite so hard. Yeah, see, that's much, the engines are much happier there. There's 18,000. I'm going to bring that back to standard barrel. What do you think, Al South? Just like flying the Piper Cub, man. I'm telling you. Just a bigger version of the Cub. It does model, by the way. Oh, okay. I was gonna say it does model people in there. Looks kind of funky from this view, but when you look from the outside. can see the guys in there. It looks pretty cool, I think. All right. I think we can go ahead and get up to 300. I think we can climb out at that. I think that's going to be well within our limits. Let's just look back here and make sure nothing is hollering at us. I'm actually crying out for a fuel management video. I think this is similar to the DC-8 in how it manages the fuel. Boy, if there's somebody out there that knows how to do that, that would be awesome. Okay, we've just about intercepted, so I'm going to go ahead and make my turn back here. 076, and we'll fly that baby outbound. Again, we're looking for, well, when we're within 82 miles, then we know we've hit. So we're 147. All right, something's blinking at us here. Engine vibration. That's not good. That's not good. ECS. All right, let's just reset that. I did not reset that. I should have. Some of those things zero out after you start the aircraft. I actually kind of went a little bit past. That's okay. Not a bad thing here. So yeah, those wings, they're just, I mean, this is a long haul aircraft in every sense of the word, and it was designed to haul a lot of people, and so there is a bunch of fuel for 3 engines. So the way that I understand is the fuel tank for engine number 1 is out here on this part of the wing. The fuel tank for engine 2, which is the tail, is stored kind of on the inside here, and then the fuel tank for engine 3 is out on this wing, and they all hold about the same. Engine 2 is holds a little bit more. So I was actually reading one of the guys that was talking about the fuel system said that you actually need to, the first thing that you do is you set it. Well, let's see, mine already is a little bit off, but you'll notice that engine 2 will have the most fuel, and so you set your you set up your whole fuel system to get that balanced out first. Really, if I knew what I was doing, I would. That one's using the most fuel so far. Fuel used. Okay, where does it say fuel remaining? Oh yeah, so yeah, you can see this has 104,000. This is almost double. So if I knew what I was doing, I would be using this fuel from tank 2 first to get everything balanced, and then you use the rest. But yeah, there's been a lot to learn, and managing the fuel system has just sort of taken a little bit of a backseat. I figure if worst comes to worst, we can do a little mid-air refueling, because that was the other thing that these planes were kind of known for, is they were the tanker planes that would refuel you. So we may do a little P3D version of that if we have to. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Alright, we are looking pretty good, actually. We're almost up to cruise altitude, and at that point I intend to actually split this stream. I've got a couple things that I'm going to be working on while I'm flying. I need to do a little bit of offline work here, but I do want to come back and do the approach, let you guys kind of see how that goes. But I think basically the next 2 hours is just going to be me especially if the INS works like it should. It's just going to be me monitoring systems, and you know, there's only so much of that a guy can watch. So really what I would encourage you to do is this. In the meantime, let me find my map here. Let me find my map here. Aha, there we go. So here we are. We're rocking, we're rolling. There's no ATC even to listen to until we get, I'm assuming we might pick something up. I don't know if we go up north into Chicago, but that's kind of the soonest we'll get it. So here's what I would recommend if I was you. I would go, and here are the airports that are featured in the event. Kingston Regional, Woodrum Field, nope, not Woodrum Field, sorry, Preston Glenfield in Lynchburg, and then Harry P. Davis, and then there's another one up here, yeah, Martin States. These are all little small regional airports. You would have a ton of fun, I know, in these two areas here, Lynchburg and Kinston. Beautiful country. This is nearby where we did the small airport tour of the three airports, or the Three Guys airports, or gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, we did that little triangular leg. You would be wise to go and at least try to take your plane in between these two while we're in cruise. And if you had, if you were able to, you could even, kind of fly into this madness and practice your VOR skills VFR skills, and try to get permission to enter the Class Bravo and all that fun stuff. But that's what, if I were you and not me, because I'm going to have my hands full right here, that's what I would do. Al South is saying go back, fly the Cub in Denali. Now that's also not a bad plan B, my friend. That was a pretty epic trip yesterday. That was a ton of fun. Okay, we're getting close. I'm going to take this video out to McCook, and then that'll be where we part ways just for a little bit, probably about 2 hours, and then I will be back online when we are getting to probably Charleston. That's kind of where we start to think about our approach, and that's when I'll resume. So keep your eyes peeled, Al South, and anybody else that's interested in watching me try to land this vintage beauty in amongst the madness here. So I am looking here, and I do see, where are you, KIH? Well, KIAH, no, that's in Texas. KIAD. No wonder I was confused. Dulles only has 3 arrivals. Okay, so we're good to go. We're good to go. Oh, now Washington Nationals on. I should have went DCA. Oh well, that's okay. I think this is going to be fun. Our buddy Slant Alpha, he's manning one of the towers, by the way. I think he is. Where is he? Might as well show you guys what I'm looking at here. He's down here at one of these towers. Maybe he's in amongst this mess. No, no, no. Where would he be? There he is. So, yeah, Martin State, man. Martin Tower, that's if you want to go talk to the Slant Alpha adventure guy, and you want to know partly why he knows as much as he does about this, is because he's also a full-time air traffic guy on VATSIM. But yeah, maybe go give him some love and try to request a challenging departure or approach and see how he manages. he looks a little lonesome right now. Only 3 arrivals at this point in time, so he might enjoy seeing you. And tell him Melvin sent you. Tell him Melvin Leroy says hi. Alright, so here we are. We're closing in. See how well that held that speed? I mean, that's pretty darn good. And all the while, I mean, we're up there a little bit. Probably just a hair over the limit. If I was really nice, I would back this off maybe to 1,000 feet per minute instead. And let's see if this helps our engine at all. Well, we're so close to the top of climb right now, it's really not doing much for us. But that right there, just a little bit of auto throttle, that sure helps. Because in the DC-8 right now, you would be manually on the throttle and adjusting as you climb, and I mean, the DC-8 has a vertical speed mode to help, but just being able to have this component be done automatically is huge. This little button right here was a huge leap forward. And the other little button I better pick is the arm the altitude button, because we're within 1,500 feet. And we don't want to go blowing through that 370. Alright, Al South. Yeah, so let's see. What time right now is 2015 Zulu. Yeah, I would say about 2200 Zulu, so about an hour 45 minutes or so. I should be in the neighborhood anyway. Things should be starting to get interesting. Thanks for keeping me company on the way out, by the way. That was good to have somebody looking over my shoulder. Thanks for the patience also with the choppy stream. Hopefully that also kind of solved itself there. But alright, so we're getting, and I actually have went past a little bit. I'm going to tune in direct now McCall. I'm a little past where I'm supposed to be, so I'm going to have to make a slight adjustment. So, sorry, McCook, 115.3. That should come alive. Yep, you can see I was supposed to be on the 073, but obviously that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna just go direct to. So yeah, looking like about 060. We'll go ahead, we'll turn our heading there, and for the first time today we will engage the nav mode, and we'll see how well we fly this radial. Heading, altitude, yep, stopping at 370, love it. Airspeed is going to come up to right around 300, hopefully. We are at Mach 0.83, maybe we don't need to be quite that fast. I was hoping for a Mach 0.78, that's usually where I try to roll here. Alright, looks like we're picking up the VOR. That's awesome. So, sit tight for another 47 miles out south, and you'll be able to see if I actually have programmed in everything correctly and can make the INS work. And then at that point in time, we will part ways here for just a little bit. Might be more for like an hour and a half after that. But we will see. I'm going to have to sweet talk. I'm going to have to Discord Rob and tell him to pull some strings and try to keep the ATC online for this old tri-jet. In fact, I think I'll do that right now. He doesn't look too busy. think I've got about another hour and 45 minutes until the event ends. Yeah, 2200 Zulu is when the event ends. That's when I'm thinking I'll just be sort of starting my approach. Well, I've asked. We will see. I kind of think he probably doesn't spend a lot of time on his Discord while he's doing his air traffic. But it's worth reaching out. So, all right, we're getting there. Pretty solid rendering. I mean, I like the weathered kind of the, you know, you can see the little bit of sort of fading or wear over the top. You know, this isn't brand new shiny stuff. I mean, look at that. That's just, that's awesome. The black smoke, it was not the cleanest flying bird in the sky, that's for sure. Okay, so we're 13 miles from where we're supposed to be. I have my heading set, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the nav off. I'm going to re-engage heading just so we stay kind of on track, and I'm going to flip this over to FMS. And oh boy, now that's, why does that have me turning? Holy cow. I don't want that then. It has me turning for some reason. Oh, I know why. It has me turning because I ended up a little bit further south than I thought I was, so it's hopefully having me turn to kind of intercept McCook at the proper angle. And since we're so close to McCook, it had to turn pretty radically. But now it's showing that I don't know what it's doing, guys. Okay, so let's do this. Let's re-engage heading mode. And oh, I bet I know what I need to do. I've got FMS on, but I need to still be in nav mode. It's telling me where I'm supposed to be going, I think. And I am way past. I'm really gonna be, yeah, so this is the updated track. Almost working like an ADF a little bit here. Yep, and I flew past McCall, which that shouldn't matter now because the INS is taking over and it's all about the latitude and longitude. But yeah, I'm not getting turned back around near quick enough. This will be interesting to see, unless it's wanting to, for some reason, take me back towards, I'm saying McCook or McCall, what is it? McCook, unless it's wanting to take me back there for some reason. But it should bring me around to probably, I would say like a 09 or maybe even a little bit more direct, because it's, if the INS, if I have things programmed in, plugged in correctly, it should be pointing me out here at Pawnee City. And that is on a 202. I'm way up here. And I wonder if I didn't. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm definitely not making a huge radical turn like it's trying to recapture that. Again, that's almost acting like an ADF. It's kind of acting like if you wanted to go back to McCook, you would want to turn like right now at about a 211. That's being continually updated. So I wonder, I'm holding off on updating. I know I could do that. Pawnee City is 112.4. I'm holding off on updating that because I want to see if it just grabs the correct heading here, direct Pawnee City. Because again, the beauty of the INS is that you shouldn't have to worry about this. That's merely a backup here. Tell me 0 to 1. I want to go 1 to 2. $183 away. That also should automatically change, by the way. And now I'm getting, well, now that is kind of coming back around. Okay, so I'm more confused than ever, I guess, right now. I do need to, I guess one thing I better check and see is, well, I tell you what. Here's where I promised I was going to cut it short. So I think I will. I'm going to cut it short. We are currently roughly on our way to Pawnee City. It is 2026 Zulu. I'll be back on at 2200 Zulu, and I'll update you in terms of the progress of the flight. So thanks for tuning in for the departure. Thanks for learning right along with me. If you have any suggestions, if you know anything about this plane, please feel free, leave a comment. I love learning about these planes, and this is only my second flight, so I definitely have a lot to learn. But I'll let you guys go do what you're going to do, and we'll see you here in about an hour and a half.